Hello everybody and welcome to another Nephilim builds. Today we're going to see some salt as Roxas from Kingdom Hearts. As always, keep in mind that these videos are about capturing the spirit of the character rather than capturing their abilities perfectly. Now before we begin, I want to point something out. You might have noticed that I've got the old spell sheet up. So here's the thing, editing the new spell sheet was a lot of work to make look good. Every spell name, level, range, and casting time was an entirely new layer that I had to put in and line up myself. Plus I had to look up every single spell to find out the range, casting time, and whether it had concentration, ritual, or required material components. And yet I would have continued to do all of that if I didn't keep running out of room for spells. So I'm back to using the old sheet so I can just scrunch down the font if a spell level has too many spells in it. And before you ask, no, I could not have done that for the new sheet. It would have physically hurt me if I ignored the concentration, material, and ritual bubbles. So with all that said, let's start with ability scores. Using the standard pointer, I will put the 15 to dexterity. Roxas is speedy and he's a dual wielder. Next we'll put the 14 to charisma. It might not seem like he's got much of a personality, but you don't inspire such loyal friends without being likable. After that we'll put the 13 to strength. He's got some hops. We'll put the 12 in the constitution for HP and then the 10 to wisdom. It took him a while, but he eventually passed those insight checks. Lastly, we'll dump intelligence. If you've played 358 half days, then you know he's kind of dumb. And yes, I'm going to say 358 half days, not 358 over half days. It's less syllables and you still know what I'm talking about. For species, Roxas is a nobody, which is the empty body left behind by a strong-willed person who lost their heart. Except he does have a heart, specifically Ventus's heart, which was left behind in Sora's body when Sora became a Heartless. Also, nobodies kind of have hearts anyway somehow, and also memory counts as a heart, I think, and that's why Xion had a Keyblade? I think? Screw it, he's a human with extra steps. We'll get resourceful, pick performance to earn some money, and take the tough feat. We also get languages, but we don't have a spot for them anymore. They were just flavor anyway. We'll make a custom background. Roxas didn't really exist long enough to have one. We'll put her increases into strength, charisma, and dexterity, take acrobatics and persuasion, and proficiency with cards. Sure, Roxas might not have been to Castle Oblivion, but maybe he played with Luxord. We'll also take the Savage Attacker feat. If you fought him in the final mix, you're nodding your head right now. Moving on to class, we're going to start off as a bard. Wasn't joking about him inspiring Xion and Axel. We get dexterity and charisma saving throws and pick perception, survival, and athletics. We'll also be proficient with simple weapons and light armor, as well as the lute, the pan flute, and the viol. Side note, in case you don't read the description, I've been using Lindsay Sterling's Kingdom Hearts medley for the Kingdom Hearts characters. You should definitely check her out if you haven't already. Her music is incredible. At level 1 we get Bardic Inspiration and 2 cantrips. We'll take True Strike to add some more light damage down the road and Starry Wisp for a light shot. Real quick, why don't clerics get either of these? Is it because they'd be too powerful? I think it's because they'd be too powerful. We'll also get 4 spells taking Healing Word for Cure, Featherfall because it was fall damage, and Long Strider for haste. Because in 358 half days, haste doesn't increase attack power, just movement speed. We'll also draw a blank. We're now going to multiclass the Paladin, getting medium armor, shields, and all weapons. Roxas is a warrior of light with an oath to keep to one consigned to oblivion. At level 1 we get Lay on Hands for a self-heal and Weapon Mastery. Surprisingly, we actually get to use it this time. Naturally, we'll pick Scimitars for the Nick property. Now, I want to bring something up really quick. The Nick Mastery lets you make the extra attack of the light weapon property as part of your attack action instead of your bonus action. Some people, Dungeon Dudes, seem to think that you can still make the bonus action attack as well as the Nick attack. Let me be absolutely clear here. The Nick description says that you can only make this attack once per turn. This attack refers to the extra attack of the light weapon property, not the Nick Mastery. Because let's get real, suddenly being able to make 3 weapon attacks at level 1 is exactly why monks didn't get Weapon Mastery. Also, we technically get 2 masteries. This build is going to be OP enough with just scimitars, but feel free to take Short Sword for Vex. We'll also get 2 spells, taking Divine Favor for some more light and Searing Smite for fire finish. By the way, why do we not have more elemental smites yet? At level 2 we'll get our fighting style, taking 2 weapon fighting and Paladin Smite. Real quick, saying that a lot this video, but last time I said the PHB wasn't clear on whether or not this counted against spells known. I was completely wrong on that. Page 109, very last paragraph, very clearly says that if a Paladin feature gives you a spell, it doesn't count against spells known. Speaking of spells known, we'll take Protection from Evil and Good. At level 3 we'll get Channel Divinity and our Sacred Oath. Roxas swore to destroy the organization's Kingdom Hearts, which basically meant declaring war on the organization. So we'll take the Oath of Vengeance, getting Vow of Enmity. We'll also get Bane and Hunter's Mark from our Oath and take Detect Evil and Good. Back to Bard, at level 2 we'll get Jack of all trades and expertise in acrobatics and performance. We'll also draw another blank. These are going to pay off big time later on. At level 3 we'll get our Bard College, taking the College of Valor. Easiest drive form to level, you literally just hit things. We'll get Combat Inspiration and Martial Training and take Enhance Ability for superhuman feats. At level 4 we'll take the Warcaster feat, rounding off Charisma. We'll also take Prestidigitation for effects and Aid for HP boost. At level 5 we'll get Font of Inspiration and then take Lesser Restoration for a Panacea and draw a blank. At level 6 we'll get the Valor Bard Extra Attack, which literally functions the same as the Bladesinger Extra Attack. I wonder if those stack. We'll also draw a blank. I swear this will be worth it. At level 7 we'll get Counter Charm and take Fount of Moonlight. I called Conjure Minor Elementals an Elemental Spirit Shroud on steroids, but this is just actual Spirit Shroud on steroids. So far we're making 3 attacks per turn for 6d6 extra damage. So far. At level 8 we'll raise our Dexterity and draw a blank. At level 9 we'll take Expertise in Athletics and Survival and draw 2 blanks. And now, for the fun part. At level 10 we'll get Magical Secret, which now gives us full access to choose our spells from the Bard, Cleric, Druid, or Wizard spell lists. Time to abuse it. We'll get Blade Ward to fill the slot, take Shield to block, and swap a blank for Spirit Guardians for an AoE of lasers. Use this when you have swarms of weaker enemies and Fount of Moonlight for singular boss monsters. At level 11 we'll take Steel Wind Strike and Dawn from Xanathar's for Event Horizon and Magic Hour. That's another blank traded, by the way. At level 12 we'll cap our Dexterity and swap a blank for Death Ward for Second Chance. At level 13 we'll take Jump for some hops and swap a blank for Fly to Fly. At level 14 we'll get Battle Magic. We're now making 4 attacks per turn so long as we're using one of our attack action attacks to cast True Strike. That's 8d6 from Fount of Moonlight, an entire fireball's worth of damage plus the actual weapon damage. We'll also swap a blank for Fireball for Faraga. At level 15 we'll take Cone of Cold for Blizzaga and swap a blank for Chain Lightning for Thundaga. Now to really get nuts. At level 16 we'll take the Boon of Combat Prowess, bumping Dexterity to 21. We can now choose to hit once per turn when we miss with a weapon attack. True Strike is a weapon attack, so now it doesn't matter that we're making it with an uncapped modifier. We'll also swap our last blank for Whirlwind from Xanathar's for Aroga. Lastly, at Paladin level 4, we'll take the Boon of Irresistible Offense, bumping Dexterity to 22. We have a +6 Dex modifier now. We'll also take Heroism to fill a slot. Now that we're level 20, we finally have our modifiers. We'll take a pair of Scimitars for our Keyblades, though again, feel free to throw in a Short Sword for Vex. Our AC without armor is 16, our move speed is 30, and our average HP is 167 with 4d10 and 16d8 hit dice. And with that, we are done. Now what can this spell do? Lots and lots of radiant damage, 4 attacks per turn with 1d4 from Divine Favor, which doesn't take concentration, and 2d6 from Fount of Moonlight on each of them. Plus, one of them gets an additional 3d6 from Tree Strike, which is guaranteed to hit every turn thanks to Combat Prowess. We also get free advantage from Vow of Enmity and several high damage AoEs. Oh, and we have a +6 Dex mod. For weaknesses, our spellcasting is uncapped, so we'll probably be sticking to melee. We're also in trouble if we run into Mind Flayers, and our minimum strength requirement kept us from investing more into Charisma or Constitution. Weaknesses aside, we hold the keys to victory. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you'd like to support my channel, there's a link to my Patreon down in the description. $1 a month gets you 2-day early access to my videos, a chance to vote for future characters, and access to all of my homebrew content. We hit 1,400 subscribers recently, so let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments, and I'll see you all next time when I make Gilgamesh from the Epic of Gilgamesh.